Howard Moon Deer didn't see the woman until the last second. The sun was in his eyes, low in the afternoon sky, and she appeared out of nowhere, a tiny figure in a shabby blue sweatsuit. He had no idea where she had come from. She seemed almost to be floating on the wind from the desert onto the road. She was hardly more than a hallucination. He jammed his foot on the brake and swerved hard to the left. He'd been going nearly 60, which was too fast on a dirt road. He skidded sideways, fish-tailed, and spun in a circle before he came to a stop. "What the hell?" he cried. It had been a woman. But had he hit her? Howie fumbled with his seatbelt and jumped out of his dusty Subaru. The woman was on the road, lying on her side a dozen feet from his right wheel. She wasn't moving. Howie knelt by her side and examined her. She was alive, at least. She looked up at him with an oddly hopeful expression in her eyes, but she didn't look well. "Are you all right?" he asked, knowing she wasn't. She was a small woman dressed in sweatpants, a stained yellow T-shirt, and canvas shoes without socks. Chinese was his first impression, perhaps Cambodian. She was young but ageless. She had Asian eyes and a broad peasant face. Howie didn't know if this was his fault. There were no obvious signs that he had hit her, but she didn't look well. Her lips were blistered, her eyes were red. She was burned by the sun. "I have water," he said, seeing that she was dehydrated. She didn't look as though she understood English. "Hold on." "Shia, shia," she said. She said it so softly he wasn't sure afterwards if he had really heard it. As it happened, "thank you" was the only Mandarin he remembered from a 3-week trip to China 15 years ago. He jogged back to his car to get the water bottle he kept propped up in the holder between the 2 front seats. He returned with the water, knelt by her side, and was about to bring the bottle to her lips when he saw that she was dead. He sat back on his haunches and sighed. She was such a frail creature. She looked more like a dead bird than a human. It was then, while he was looking at her, that he noticed that the left leg of her sweatpants was soaked with blood. The cheap synthetic material of the pant leg had been torn away to show her thigh underneath. Her skin had a round wound that looked like a bullet hole. "You've been shot," he said incredulously, which changed everything for the worse.